Hi, I'm John Becker, welcoming you to Chapter 9, Tax Aspects of Estate Planning. In the introduction to this particular chapter, I wanted to cover a particular series of points about the issue of federal estate taxes. In the years that I've been involved in teaching estate and succession planning courses, one of the issues that has driven many people to the idea of embarking on an estate and succession plan in their own personal situation is the need to save taxes. And federal estate taxes were probably one of the most common examples of why people wanted to embark on estate planning, in order to minimize that tax wherever possible or to take advantage of some of the tax opportunities that that particular tax law provided. Now, in the years that I've been involved in this particular topic, there have been a whole series of changes. So we're about to enter probably the most technical of the chapters in this estate and succession planning course, as we try to talk about the significance and the peculiar terms that might be part of federal estate tax law. By the time you get through this particular chapter, you'll be able to get to the point of being able to identify when federal estate taxes apply, the concept of a federal gross estate, how ownership of property impacts on the federal gross estate, how valuation decisions become an important set of considerations in federal estate taxes, and some of the most important of the exemptions and other estate planning opportunities that are available under federal estate tax law. The basic exemption equivalent to the unified credit, the marital deduction, each of which play a significant role in minimizing the impact of federal estate taxes to the typical individual in today's day and age, and as we embark on this particular course in today's setting. That said, however, there's also an important caution. Congress in 2010 passed some provisions that impacted on the federal estate tax law that were particularly significant for 2011 and 2012. But they also made some very significant provisions that take effect on January 1 of 2013 if Congress doesn't act before then. So in other words, we're in an environment where some of the things we're going to be talking about are going to be very time sensitive. If action is going to be taken to take advantage of those particular provisions, then time will become a very important factor. It also means that if Congress does act sometime before January 1 of 2013, some of these provisions may be affected by changes taking place as a result of congressional action. So the topic is to introduce you to what federal estate tax is, what are the tax rates, when does the tax apply, how does an estate determine whether or not it's going to be subject to federal estate taxes, what are some of the basic opportunities that will minimize or avoid federal estate taxes, but also to caution, to give you an idea of where the cautionary issues are in relationship to things that may impact on the future of federal estate taxes. Good luck with the chapter. As I mentioned earlier, it's probably one of the most technical ones that you'll face in the course, but it does try to explain as best we can the nature of what this particular tax is. By the end of the course, we hope that you'll have a better sense of how federal estate taxes may or may not apply to you. Good luck with the chapter.